Hello, my name's Claire from Conscious Chemo, and in this video I wanted to reflect on the concept of knowing oneself, know thyself. And when you think about that, really it's saying know thyself, your deepest, truest self. And when you know your deepest, truest self, you are in a better position to be able to follow your own path. And I think that's really important when you're navigating any life situation, any healing crisis, any cancer diagnosis, is to follow your own path. And you can really only do that when you are tuned into the deeper part of yourself, knowing thyself. But that can evolve and come over time. So you don't have to have all the answers immediately. They can unfold, day by day, and trust in the unfolding. So that's been my experience. Things have evolved, and being open to change. You don't have to decide and fix on one thing. You can let things come to you and see how you feel, and then make a new decision, or take a new path, or add more into what you're doing. So I've taken an integrative approach. I've combined medical intervention with an awful lot of deep inner work. Yoga is meditation, healing, yoga nidras, journey therapy, nutrition, detoxing, colonic hydrotherapies, supplements, so much. But what I wanted to say is I haven't followed any one thing religiously. I've read lots of books. I've taken on board advice from professionals, health professionals. I'm very lucky. I'm surrounded by people that are in the alternative health industry and have been all my life. I've been in that myself. So I had a very good starting point coming into this. I've read so many books throughout my years on healing. Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life, You Are What You Eat, Love Your Liver and Live Longer. So many different books on the spiritual and the nutrition and the holistic side of things, creative visualization, manifestation. So I came into this in a really good starting point. So if you're not there, start where you are at, meet yourself where you're at, be okay with it, and just one thing at a time, slowly, that will slowly allow you to feel more empowered and come from a place of making your own decisions. Know thyself. Where's your starting point? Wherever it is, that's okay. And then when you are deciding how you navigate your journey, doing it in a way that doesn't create any resistance or stress. So not feeling resentful about what you're doing. So if you've read a book and they're suggesting a 90-day, for example, a 90-day juice fast during chemotherapy, don't beat yourself up if you don't decide to do the 90-day juice fast, or if you just do it for a week in between each round. It's what feels right for you, what's manageable for you, what can you incorporate without feeling stressed, because stress will trigger a response in your body that is unhelpful for any cancer diagnosis and cancer prevention. So I think stress is so important to minimize, and of course the whole everything that we're conditioned about cancer is very stress inducing. So I'm hoping that this site will encourage people to let the fear and the stress fall away, and to come and find some empowerment and take positive and inspired action on what you can do to improve your personal situation. There is always something. And to take on board information that helps, and then use your own discernment to decide what feels right for you in the moment, knowing that you can change the course of action you take at any time. You don't have to continue with anything on either the medical or the alternative side. You can tune in and let your own inner guide guide you. So just as an example of that, during my high dose chemotherapy, leading up to it, I had 6 weeks of a pretty hardcore detox. Then during my high dose chemo, I felt like I wanted more substance. I ate more, I added more into my diet. Still always I was on no added sugar. I only had dairy like kefir because it had the health benefits. I ate a bit of fish because that's got really good, some really good nutrition in it, but I've not been eating meat for many years. So I didn't do one thing, I'm all this or I'm all that. I took little bits that I thought would help me from a health perspective, but my main thing was that I was plant-based, and I still am. But then during my high dose chemotherapy, I had liquid fasted for the day before, the day of, and the day after. But now I'm on my low dose, I'm not, and I haven't felt any different. And I know I feel that it's because I've been so healthy from my triple test all the way through that now I can eat a very normal diet, and I feel great. When I say normal, it's an anti-cancer diet. I'm still on an anti-cancer diet, although here I am in the Lake District. I'm away from home. I have brought supplements with me, which I've been having every morning. And I brought with me some food to have at the beginning, but in the mid part, I've just been going to the pub and I've been eating what I fancied from the menu, and I've not been beating myself up or worrying that I'm not sticking to any one thing. I'm enjoying it. I'm appreciating it. And when you enjoy and appreciate anything, that makes you feel good. And so that's anti-cancerous. So even though I'm doing an awful lot to support my body and my mind during this journey, I'm also allowing myself to have a little bit of what I fancy. I'm still sticking to, low sugar. Sugar's the main thing. So I've had chips this week, which I hadn't had since last August, and it's nearly a year later. And I've really enjoyed them. They've been homemade. So when you're allowing yourself to come away from anything that you might be doing to help your situation, if you're enjoying it, then that's the most important thing. Dropping any sense of guilt, any sense of stress, any sense of resentment, but also doing what you can to improve your situation. So not using that as an excuse not to help yourself. I think there can sometimes be a balance to be had. So I know that once I get home and I've got the juicer, I'll be there juicing again. And I enjoy that too, because it makes me feel good that I'm doing something to support my body and my mind. So I don't see that as a chore at all. It's a pleasure, and I can see that it's, and feel that it's helping me. So I hope that reflection helps. I think balance is really important. Balance is part of the picture of health. It's part of the picture of not feeling resentful and of not feeling stressed. Life's here for us to enjoy in its fullness at all times. Thank you so much for listening. I hope to see you in the next video. Good luck on your healing journeys. Claire from Conscious Chemo.